Alright, let's dive into something that's been making waves in the crypto space recently. Imagine this. One of the biggest corporate Bitcoin holders decides to slash their stash by a third in just 6 months. Sounds crazy, right? Well, that's exactly what Mara Holdings did, and it's got everyone talking. Personally, I think this move is a massive deal, not just for Mara but for the entire crypto market. It's like watching a giant pivot mid-game, and it raises so many questions about their strategy, the market's health, and what this could mean for other players. So, here's the deal. Mara went from holding over 53,000 Bitcoin at the end of 2025 to just under 36,000 by mid-2026. That's a 34% drop, and it's not just a random sell-off. According to their SEC filing, they're scaling back on lending and collateral exposure. What makes this really interesting is the timing. Bitcoin's price has been volatile, and Mara's move feels like a calculated risk. Are they cashing out because they're worried about a downturn? Or is this part of a bigger strategy? In my opinion, it's the latter, but let's break it down. One thing that immediately stands out is Mara's decision to sell nearly 21,000 Bitcoin in Q1 2026 for $1.5 billion. That's a huge chunk of their holdings, and they used most of it to pay off $1 billion in convertible debt. From my perspective, this is a smart financial move. By reducing debt, they're strengthening their balance sheet and lowering leverage, which gives them more flexibility in the long run. But here's the kicker. This marks the end of their full HODL approach. Mara used to hold on to every Bitcoin they mined or acquired, but now they're monetizing strategically. What this really suggests is that they're shifting from a purely speculative play to a more operational mindset. It's like they're saying, we're not just betting on Bitcoin's price anymore. We're using it as a tool to grow our business. What many people don't realize is that this shift isn't just about Bitcoin. Mara's been diversifying into AI and high-performance computing infrastructure. They acquired Exaon and are eyeing the Long Ridge energy and power platform. If you take a step back and think about it, this feels like a company repositioning itself for the future. Bitcoin was their ticket to the big leagues, but now they're using those gains to build something more sustainable. It's a bold move, especially when you consider that they're still one of the biggest corporate BTC holders out there, even after these sales. But here's where it gets really fascinating. Mara's strategy could be a canary in the coal mine for the crypto industry. Are other big players going to follow suit? Will we see more companies monetizing their Bitcoin holdings to fund growth or reduce risk? Personally, I think this is just the beginning of a broader trend. As the crypto market matures, companies are going to get more strategic with their assets. It's not just about holding anymore. It's about deploying those assets in ways that drive real value. A detail I find fascinating is how Mara's total digital asset holdings dropped from $4.7 billion to $2 billion in just 6 months. That's a massive decline, but it's not just because of selling Bitcoin. Bitcoin's price fluctuations played a huge role too. This raises a deeper question. How much of this move was driven by market conditions versus Mara's internal strategy? My guess is it's a bit of both. They saw an opportunity to sell high, reduce debt, and reposition themselves for the future, all while the market was still favorable. So what's the big takeaway here? In my opinion, Mara's pivot is a sign of the times. The crypto space is evolving, and companies are starting to think beyond just holding assets. They're using crypto as a tool for growth, diversification, and financial stability. It's a mature approach, and I think we're going to see more of this in the coming years. But here's the question I'll leave you with. Is this the end of the HODL era, or just the beginning of a new chapter in crypto strategy? Let me know what you think in the comments below.